Right, I'm home. Now, my mom swears up and down that I took her keys. Now, this living room looks very nice compared to how it was. Took a lot of time and effort to get this nice and right for her. Bookshelves, all of her little accolades, little TV stand. This took about 3 years to get done because my mother didn't want to clean up the living room. Clean up the den. Here is her living room. Just absolutely cluttered. And all of my efforts to try to help her clean this up, she says, I'm going to throw the wrong things away, or I don't know what's important, or she'll swear I'm trying to steal something or whatever. But this is how she has her living room kept. I've made a sincere effort to try to get her help. I try to get her friends to try to come and join her and help. Nothing. And as we continue down the hallway, let me get the light. All right. Continuing down the hallway, this is her sewing room. This is a complete unmitigated disaster. I'm reaching in with my phone because you cannot physically walk into this room. This is completely barricaded. More and more junk. This is insanity. This is starting to get to a point where it's becoming a hazard. This is a fire hazard. This is like a very significant issue when you're not able to freely navigate your home in a safe and effective manner, especially for my mother getting up in age. And this is her other room right here. You can kind of walk in here, but like I said, it's an absolute disaster. And my mother, she's very ill. She's not right mentally, and I've reached a breaking point where I really need to get help. This is absolutely wild. What really had upset me was I had to put security cameras in my room because when she would have guests over, it seemed like, they would spend time on my side of the house all the way up until I had the living room cleaned up. And once the living room got cleaned up, that kind of stopped. But things would be showing up on my side of the house that have nothing to do with me. This is the bathroom for the company and the guests, the hall bathroom. Just a complete disaster. And the idea of me taking her keys to stop her from going to church or whatever it is that she was trying to say, it makes no sense. When I got home, the house was locked up just fine. Every last inch of the house was locked up. Now, if you think that's bad, wait till you see the basement. Now, some of the things in the basement are mine. I do have boxes of old clothes down here, maybe 3 or 4. But as you're going to see, none of this matters. This Christmas tree has been up for almost 10 years now. It's insanity. I've been trying to get help. I've been trying to get her friends to participate. I've had a few relationships in the past where I've had some of my exes make an effort to try to help clean up the house. I had one ex help clean up her kitchen, and my mother was swearing up and down that she stole the silverware. and that she took it to a pawn shop. The only problem was the girl I was with at the time, she didn't own a car, and she didn't have a license or anything like that. So the idea that she took anything and went anywhere to sell anything is just completely absurd. But yeah, this is 24/7, 7 days a week, nonstop. My mother, because of her disability, she doesn't have to work. She spends 24 hours, 7 days a week at home. The only expense that she has is an electric bill. Everything else I pay for or take care of. And this is the other half of the basement. All this stuff is right where we keep the wood stove. This is also a fire hazard. This is madness. Absolute madness. Now, what I tried to do to help my mom, because she said she wanted to keep the cardboard boxes to try to, make it easier for her to get a fire going in the winter, right? So what I decided to do was I decided to cut up some cardboard. Hold on, let me put on a light. Yeah, I decided to cut up some cardboard and make bundles of cardboard. I don't know where she put them. But yeah, I sliced cardboard into little squares, and I bundled them together so that she can more easily have access to all the things necessary to get a fire started, whenever she chooses to do so. And this is my pool table. The only reason why this area is clear is because I cleared it out to play pool, and she was nice enough to allow me to do that. But yeah, this is madness. All of these things, and some of these things do have value. I'm not going to lie. I don't understand enough about what is in this house to really be able to make a distinction between what's valuable and what's not. But what I do understand is that if it's not in its place, then it's out of place. And if it's out of place, it causes more and more problems. But yeah, I really need to make some kind of effort to fix the situation going on in this house, because my mother is exhausted all of my goodwill towards believing that she is capable of doing this on her own. I think that she's officially gone off the reservation. She's officially lost the plot. It's an absolute disaster living here, and me and my sisters, we all came together and agreed to sell off the property in Atlanta so that we would be able to pay off the mortgage here at this house. That way my mother can live in relative comfort after the passing of her boyfriend Troy, so that my mom wouldn't have to struggle, without him and making the payments for the mortgage. Me and my sisters, we come up together, we put the money together to get the house paid off, and the remaining $36,000 cash that was left after selling the house and paying off the mortgage, we gave that to my mom, and she chose to do with it what she wanted. And from what I was able to understand and observe, she bought some paint, which I used to paint the house. We got a lot of the house painted. She painted the benches. She did a wonderful job with that. Painted the windows, painted the house. And these are brand new rain gutters that she spent a lot of money on. Now, I had recommended she get drain lines, and the drain lines would help keep the basement from flooding. And she declined. So then I suggested that she get a flood pump for the basement. She again declined. Now, every time it rains, my mother's downstairs in the basement using a pump, a flood pump and a wet vac to keep the basement from flooding. And this is after I advised her on what was necessary for her to have in order to alleviate herself of this problem. And she chose to spend the money on something else. Now, my mom has had some struggles with addiction in her life, and for the most part, she has convinced me to some degree that she's overcame it. And I believed her all the way up until she told me she spent the rest of that money on outfits. On outfits. She managed to spend almost $28,000 cash on outfits. This is my tool chest. That's my board. And these are some of the things I don't understand what to do with. But this is some of her old boyfriend stuff. I don't understand what to do with any of this stuff either. But all in all, I'm at loss for words. We have a storage container on the property, and we made some headway in emptying out some junk from it so we can try to store other things in it. But it's the same story with the storage unit. It's filled with things that honestly we could part with in order to try to make more space in the house and make it more functional. But I do not have the authority to go over my mom and choose to do with her things. And yet she is not capable of making sound judgment and being able to deal with these things on her own. And I've made every effort I could to try to help her. And it's reached a point where she's now trying to attack me for wanting the best for her. And not to, be so presumptuous as to knowing, what is best for my mom, but I know what's best for every person on the planet. And some degree of sanitation and organization in their home is always beneficial. You don't have to be a rocket scientist or psychologist to understand these things. But this is me making an effort to try to document something that's going to get the ball rolling on getting my mom the help that she needs. Because I don't have the authority to address the problems that she has. And with little authority that she has, she's been trying to make my life a living hell. And I'm the bad person for wanting the best for my mom. So I haven't the slightest clue what exactly she's trying to accomplish in attacking me instead of the mess.